There is a moment. You might not have recognized it when it happened. You might not know it happened yet. But there is a specific moment in every human life, not a dramatic moment, not necessarily a visible one, when a person decides at a depth below ordinary thought who they are going to be. Not who they want to be, not who they hope to become. Who they are, present tense, unconditional, without waiting for permission, without waiting for readiness, without waiting for the circumstances to cooperate with the vision. Epictetus made that decision from a slave cell. Mandela made that decision from a prison island where they gave him a number instead of a name. Marcus Aurelius made that decision in a military tent on the frozen Danube frontier, governing an empire through plague and war, with a body that kept failing and a world that kept breaking. Each of them in the specific, unglamorous, unwitnessed moment when the decision crystallized, chose who they were going to be. Not someday, not when conditions improved, now, from exactly here, with exactly this. This video is an invitation not to be inspired, not to feel motivated for the next 48 hours, to make the decision, the one that changes everything, the one that is available to you right now, the one that no circumstance, no history, no past version of yourself has the power to prevent. Today is the day you decide who you are. Welcome back to Stoic Compass. I want to be honest with you about what this video is and what it is not. It is not a collection of life hacks. It is not a productivity system. It is not 10 steps to a better morning routine. This is a philosophical confrontation with the gap between who you currently are and who you are genuinely capable of becoming. With the time you have, finite, irreversible, currently passing, and whether it is being spent in alignment with what you actually believe matters, with the specific decisions made daily in the quiet of your own mind that are either building or eroding the person your deepest self knows you can be. The Stoic tradition was built for exactly this confrontation, not as a comfortable philosophy, not as a set of pleasant ideas to be admired from a distance, as a demanding, daily, uncompromising practice of becoming. The Stoics did not say, aspire to excellence. They said, be excellent, now, today, in this hour, in this specific available choice. That demand, however uncomfortable, is the most loving thing a philosophy can offer a human being, because it assumes you are capable of it, and you are. Lesson 1. The story you have been telling yourself. The lie between you and your potential. Every person who has ever fallen short of what they were capable of, and that means every person who has ever lived, has done so in the specific shadow of a story. Not a story told by someone else, a story told in their own voice, in their own tone, using their own specific vocabulary of limitation. I'll start when I'm ready. I'll begin when the conditions are right. I've tried before and it didn't work. I'm not the kind of person who can do this. Other people can do this, not me. You know your version of the story. You have been telling it, most of you, for years, some of you for decades. And I want to do something that philosophy does better than any other discipline. I want to examine the story, not dismiss it, not tell you it isn't real, not offer you a cheerful counter-narrative that papers over the genuine difficulty of what you're facing. Examine it. Apply Epictetus's foundational tool, the distinction between what is within your control and what is not, to the story itself. Here is what the story typically claims. It claims that the limitation is external, that the gap between where you are and where you want to be exists because of something outside yourself: the circumstances, the history, the timing, the resources, the people who didn't believe in you, the opportunities that didn't arrive. The Stoic examination asks, is that actually true? Not dismissively, genuinely. Which part of the gap is actually produced by external circumstances, by things that are genuinely, completely, without exception, outside your control? And which part, if you are completely honest, with no audience watching, in the privacy of your most accurate self-assessment, which part is produced by choices you are currently making, by the habit you haven't built because building it is uncomfortable, by the conversation you haven't had because having it is frightening, by the work you haven't started because starting it means you can no longer maintain the comfortable ambiguity of intending to start someday. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, for himself, in the private journal he never expected anyone to read, "Stop talking about what the good man is like. Be one. Stop talking about it. Stop narrating the aspiration. Stop telling the story of the person you intend to become. Be, present tense, this hour, this decision." The story between you and your potential is not the product of your circumstances. It is the product of your choices, and choices can be changed today. Lesson 2. The decision point. The moment that separates every story. I want to take you to a specific moment. Not a historical moment. Your moment. The moment that is happening in some form right now. There is something in your life, something specific and real and not hypothetical, that you know with genuine certainty deserves more from you than it is currently receiving. A goal you have been circling without committing to. A relationship you have been maintaining without truly inhabiting. A capacity you have been postponing developing. A version of yourself you have been gesturing toward without taking the step that would make it real. You know what it is. It came to mind in the first 10 seconds of me saying that. The thing that made a specific part of you recognize itself. That recognition, the specific discomfort of the thing that has just come to mind, is not guilt. It is your deepest self pointing at what it knows is available. Seneca described this recognition with urgency. Recede in te ipse quantum potes. Retire into yourself as much as you can. Not to escape the world, to access the part of yourself that knows what you are actually capable of, beneath the story, beneath the conditioning, beneath the comfortable explanation for why this isn't the right moment. The right moment is a myth. There is only this moment, and whether you are going to use it. The decision point is not a dramatic crossroads with thunderclaps and clear signs. It is this, right now. The quiet, non-dramatic, completely available choice between continuing the pattern and beginning the different one. James Stockdale did not have a dramatic moment of decision in Vietnam. He had a parachute opening, a glimpse of the Vietnamese countryside below, and a practiced mind that in the seconds of descent organized itself around the one thing it could control: how he was going to meet what was coming. Not what was coming, he had no say in that. How? The quality of his response, the character he was going to bring to the worst available circumstances. The specific decision made in the air above enemy territory about who he was going to be in what was about to happen. Your decision point is gentler than that.
You are not parachuting into a war, but the structure is the same, and the decision is equally real, equally available, and equally consequential for the shape of everything that follows. Who are you going to be in what is about to happen today? Not in some future, better conditioned version of today, in this one. Lesson 3. Purpose is not found. Stop searching. Start deciding. One of the most paralyzing myths in modern culture is the myth of the discovered purpose. It goes like this. Somewhere, waiting for you, is a specific and unique purpose, a calling, a mission, a reason for being that once discovered will make everything clear and provide unlimited motivation and end the uncertainty about what you should be doing with your life. The Stoics dismantled this myth 2,000 years ago, not by denying that purpose matters, it matters enormously, but by locating purpose not in a cosmic plan to be discovered, but in a daily choice to be made. The Stoic concept of kathekon, appropriate action or duty, is one of the most practically powerful ideas in the tradition. It says, your purpose is not something hidden that must be found. Your purpose is what is genuinely available to you, with your specific capacities, in your specific position, in this specific moment, and chosen. Marcus Aurelius did not discover his purpose. He inherited an empire he didn't ask for, on a frontier he didn't choose, in circumstances that were genuinely terrible. And he chose. He chose to bring the full quality of his philosophical practice, his genuine care for the people under his governance, his commitment to justice and wisdom, to exactly the circumstances that were actually his, not ideal circumstances, his circumstances. The Buddha's path to purpose was not the discovery of a pre-existing cosmic mission. It was the choosing from a position of complete material security to engage with the most fundamental question available to a conscious being. What is the nature of suffering, and is liberation from it possible? That question, chosen, not handed to him, organized his entire life and produced a tradition that has sustained billions of human beings across 25 centuries. Your purpose does not require discovery. It requires decision. The decision to bring your genuine best to what is genuinely yours. The decision to care about something larger than your immediate comfort. The decision to treat this specific, unglamorous, actually available day as the one in which you are going to be, fully, without reservation, without the hedge of, when conditions improve, the person you are capable of being. That decision is purpose, not the inspiration that precedes the decision, not the clear vision of the destination, the choosing. Again and again, every day, in the face of uncertainty, in the presence of doubt, in the middle of the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Choosing.
Lesson 4. The legacy in the ordinary, the extraordinary hiding in the everyday. I want to tell you something about legacy that most people don't fully absorb until it is too late to use. The legacy you leave is not built in the grand moments, it is built in the ordinary ones. The meditations, the most intimate, most enduring, most widely read philosophical document Marcus Aurelius produced, were not written for posterity. They were written in military tents, in stolen hours between the demands of empire, for no one but himself. He was not building a legacy, he was practicing philosophy.
in the ordinary morning before the palace woke, in the quiet moment between campaigns, in the private, unobserved practice of examining himself, recommitting to his values, and orienting one more time to the person he was trying to be. The legacy was the byproduct of the practice, not the goal. And this is the most important thing I can tell you about purpose, about legacy, about the day you decide who you are. The decision does not produce an immediate visible result. It produces a direction, and direction maintained across days and weeks and months and years, in the ordinary mornings, in the unglamorous choices, in the specific, repeated, unwitnessed acts of being who you decided to be, produces something that no single dramatic moment could ever produce: a life. Not a highlight reel of a life, not the curated presentation of a life, an actual life with the specific, irreplaceable, genuine quality that comes from having been truly inhabited rather than merely survived. Seneca wrote, in the final years of his life, with the knowledge that Nero's death sentence was coming, "I am not born for any one corner of the universe. This whole world is my country." He was not speaking of geography. He was describing the quality of a life that had been fully entered, that had brought itself completely to the full scope of what was available, without the hedge of reservation, without the smallness of a life lived primarily in the service of safety. Your corner of the universe is this specific life, this specific day, this specific, ordinary, unrepeatable opportunity to be someone who showed up fully. Not the universe's most significant person, yours, most fully. The person your children will remember for how present you were, not for how much you achieved. The person your colleagues will describe, not for the titles, but for the quality of how you treated them. The person your own conscience, in the private, honest review of your life, will recognize as the one who chose, consistently and deliberately, to live at the actual depth of what was available. That is the legacy that matters, and it starts today, in the next decision, the next conversation, the next choice between the easier option and the better one. Lesson 5. The Stoic Call to Your Highest Self, the demand that honors who you are. The Stoics were not gentle with themselves. They were not cruel, but they were not gentle. They held themselves to a standard that assumed their full capability, and they did not lower the standard when the days were hard, or the energy was depleted, or the conditions refused to cooperate, because lowering the standard is not kindness. It is a specific form of disrespect, the disrespect of treating yourself as less capable than you actually are. Marcus Aurelius wrote in language that has burned in the minds of readers for nearly 2,000 years, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Realize this, not be told this, not intellectually acknowledge this. Realize it in the specific, embodied, lived sense of a truth that has moved from the head into the bone. The power over your mind is enormous. It is the power to interpret what happens rather than be determined by it. The power to respond from values rather than react from conditioning. The power to choose in any circumstance the quality of your engagement with that circumstance. This power does not require favorable conditions. Epictetus exercised it from slavery. Mandela exercised it from prison. Frank exercised it from a concentration camp. You have it too, right now, in exactly this life, with exactly these resources, and exactly these challenges, and exactly this specific, ordinary, extraordinary day. The call to your highest self is not a call to be someone different. It is a call to be more fully who you already are, to stop holding back the part of you that knows what it is capable of, to stop protecting yourself from the discomfort of trying and failing by never quite fully trying, to stop deferring the life you know you are here to live to a future moment that will never arrive unless you decide it begins now. The Stoics called the highest version of the human character the sage. They acknowledged that no one fully embodies the sage, that it is an ideal towards which the philosopher continuously orients, rather than a destination that is reached. But they also made something clear that is the most motivating thing in the entire philosophical tradition. The orientation is available to you, right now, in this moment. You can choose in the next 30 seconds to orient towards your highest self rather than your most comfortable one. Not forever, not with a guarantee that the orientation will never slip. In the next 30 seconds, and then in the next 30 seconds, and then in the next 30 seconds. That is how a sage is built. That is how a life is built. That is how the ordinary morning becomes the seed of the extraordinary life.
Here it is, the decision. Right now. Close your eyes. Bring to mind the one thing, the one specific, real, non-hypothetical thing that the highest version of you would begin doing differently. Not eventually, this week. Not the full transformation, the first step. The one available action that would signal to yourself clearly and unmistakably that you have made the decision. Feel the resistance. Don't fight it. Don't wait for it to pass. Make the decision in the presence of the resistance. I am going to blank, beginning blank. Say it, mean it, write it down. That is the decision. That is the day. Every person who has ever built a life worth remembering built it in exactly this way. Not in a single grand moment, not through a magical alignment of conditions, through a decision made on an ordinary day, in the middle of an ordinary life, in the presence of every reason the story offered for why this wasn't the right time, to be, one more time, the person they had decided to become. Today is that day for you. Not because the circumstances are right, not because you feel ready, not because everything has aligned, because you have decided. And the deciding, made here, made now, made in the full, honest presence of everything that makes it difficult, is the most powerful thing a human being can do. The Stoic compass does not promise you an easy life. It promises you a real one, a life genuinely inhabited, a character genuinely built, a legacy that is not a monument to what you achieved, but the living echo of who you chose to be. One ordinary day at a time, one unglamorous decision at a time, one more choosing of the highest available version of yourself. That starts today. It starts now. Tell us in the comments, what decision have you just made, and what specific action will prove to yourself that you meant it? Write it where you can see it. Make it real. I'll see you in the next one.